Hello, everyone. Welcome to our course, Green Economy from China's Stories. In our last lesson, we learned the difficult road of China's environmental protection and summarized that since the founding of China 70 years ago, China has embarked on a unique and successful road in environmental protection, taking into account domestic and foreign events. Why do environmental problems arise? How are they generated? What are the root cause and essence? To answer this question, please watch a video, The Causes of Smog.
造成这两天我国中东部地区出现大范围雾霾天气的原因是什么呢？我们来听听专家的分析。
中央气象台专家介绍，雾天是我国每年秋末到初春这段时间极易出现的天气现象。由于这两天影响我国的冷空气势力较弱，中东部大部分地区气温有所回升，这为大雾天气的形成创造了有利条件。
今天面相对湿度比较大，风力比较小。另外呢，夜间天空是晴朗少云，夜间的辐射降温幅度也是比较大，容易使得空气达到饱和凝结，形成一些雾。
雾的出现使空气中的污染物很难扩散，加重了空气污染。在中科院大气物理研究所的这张图上，记者清楚地看到了北京这两天增加的主要污染物的变化情况。由汽车尾气和燃煤排放等转化而来的硝酸盐和硫酸盐等污染物质，这两天已增加了10倍甚至20倍。专家建议，要减轻污染，主要从减少污染源入手。
控制二氧化硫，燃煤还得燃，对吧？要脱硫，但是要一拖到底，拖得干净。不但要治理汽车油品的质量，然后就是三元催化剂，还有路况。如果天天拥堵也没有用啊。
未来3天，我国没有明显的冷空气活动，所以对于华北的偏远地区、黄淮、江淮，包括长江中下游的部分地区以及四川盆地，这些地方的雾仍然会持续。
It can be seen that in protecting the environment more systematically and effectively, we need to dig out the root cause and essence of environmental problems. As to the case shown in the video, the causes of smog. What is the main cause for the emergence of smog? We can see from this PPT. These causes are from a questionnaire. Some of the main causes include the smog components: agriculture and production. It is also generated from our lives, our transportation means, etc. Many reasons. There are also mechanical factors for the generation of smog. Climate change is also a factor. Pollution sources come from our industrial emissions, automobile exhaust, and other things. This figure shows some conclusions from the questionnaire on the causes of smog. Let's explore the root cause of environmental problems. In the case we just talked now, the first root cause is the materials. Production is the basic activity of human beings, and it inevitably has positive and negative effects. Production activities are a process of transformation of material, energy, and information between man and nature. In essence, they are the process of transforming material objects, breaking the balance of nature, and thus creating material wealth. But it produced a negative effect. The second is our understanding on environment. Understanding is one of root causes. The primitive meaning of nature to human survival and development began to be obscured and forgotten. The most direct, most primitive, and most basic umbilical cord between man and nature was finally torn off. The dream that human has a nature beyond nature, superior to nature, and getting rid of nature, to become the independent man and the king of everything, started developing and expanding. It induces us to control and transform the nature. This is the second factor. As a result, amid continuous self-satisfaction and self-certification, human was blindly asking for everything from nature, plundering nature, splurging on natural resources without control, producing all kinds of garbage without restraints, and discharging all kinds of waste in an unlimited amount. The entropy value of nature kept increasing. The balance of nature was broken off, and the pollution in nature developed faster. It ultimately led to the imbalance between man and nature and the emergence of global environmental problems. It can be seen that ideological understanding is the root cause, a very important root cause. In this regard, social understanding has also pushed the generation of environmental problems. The highlight of environmental problems directly reflects the deteriorating relationship and opposition between man and nature. Behind this opposition, it is the worsening relationship and opposition between people. The opposition between people includes the opposition between the same generation, between different countries, between regions, and between citizens, as well as between the present and future generations. After digging out the root cause of the environmental problems, we need to find out the essence. The essence of the environmental problems is the emergence of the crisis of human traditional civilization, which leads to the ecological crisis. The traditional civilization value mainly refers to the value of civilization, formed in Western society since the Industrial Revolution. It takes the great abundance of material wealth as the main content, and the science and technology as the main means. The value claims the development in a haughty tone. Its essential characteristics are the predatory exploitation, uncontrolled waste, and unpaid consumption of natural resources. This value takes deep root in the human traditional values. The emergence of a global ecological crisis shows that the traditional value of social civilization, marked by pure material civilization, is one-sided. It can only result in the general alienation of society and unilateralization of human beings, causing natural destruction, environmental pollution, and imbalanced ecology. The final result must be breakage and unsustainability of civilization itself, and the complete destruction of traditional civilization. It is not difficult to see from this that the construction of ecological civilization is not only forthcoming, but also imperative. The ecological crisis is also a crisis of traditional cultural value. The traditional cultural value mainly refers to the social cultural value held by the general Western society since the Industrial Revolution. This value advocates the basic position of anthropocentrism and places human above nature. In its view, man is the only almighty with dignity and purpose. Others have to serve us humans. The emergence of the ecological crisis indicates that the traditional cultural value is one-sided. People are neither above nature nor the Almighty, with dignity and purpose. As Marx pointed out, man is part of nature, a social being, and a natural being as well. The ecological crisis is also a crisis of the human traditional values. Traditional values mainly refer to the values that have prevailed in Western society since the Industrial Revolution. It believes that only talents have dignity and value, while nature, including all things, plants and animals, environment and ecology, has no value. They are just the force of alienation from human beings, and are the playthings, tools, objects, and offerings for people to enjoy and serve the mankind. Ruling nature, dominating nature, and conquering nature lie at and form the core of the value. We can see from these photos about the devastated nature, especially the deforestation. The emergence of the ecological crisis shows that traditional value is one-sided and wrong. Ruling nature, dominating nature, and conquering nature is wrong in theory and harmful in practice. At the same time, the ecological crisis is the crisis of the human traditional ecological value and the crisis of production value. The traditional production value mainly refers to the material production value since the Industrial Revolution. It mainly contains two aspects of concept. One is that material production dominates the world. It holds the basic position of materialism and economic supremacy. Its essence is to pursue economic determinism. The other is that the capacity of production is unique to human society. Productivity is the ability of human beings to conquer nature and transform nature. The nature has no life, and therefore no productivity. So human is obliged to change nature. In the 1950s, the American economist Simon Smith Kuznets, when studying the relationship between economic development and income disparity, found that as the economy grows, the disparity in income per capita expands and then narrows. Taking the income per capita as the abscissa and the income disparity as the ordinate, this relationship appears as a reverse U-shaped curve. The curve was later called the Kuznets income curve. Regarding the issue of environment, the environment Kuznets curve was formed. The x-axis is the development of per capita GDP, and the y-axis is the development of environmental quality. A similar reverse U-shaped curve indicates that the environment deteriorates and then improves. We call it the environment Kuznets curve. This curve reflects a traditional path of development, featuring pollution first and then treatment. Protecting the ecological environment has a bearing on the fundamental interests of the people and the long-term interests of the Chinese nation. It contributes to our present and future generations. Lucid waters and lush mountains cannot be replaced by mountains of gold and silver. This is not only a matter of value, but also a matter of responsibility. We will not follow the beaten path of pollution first, treatment afterwards. This is the absolute commitment made by the CPC and the government to all Chinese people. And therein lies the goals of sustainable development and our happiness, Of course, we must change our understanding and our behavior. Humans cannot live without good ecological environment. Everyone should take the lead to protect the environment and start it from little things.
其实和英国类似，欧美的大部分发达国家都走过了一条先发展、被污染、再治理的道路。我们再来看一下相关的案例。马斯河谷地区啊，它是比利时的一个重要的工业区。在1930年的12月1号到15号这段时间里头，整个比利时都是大雾笼罩，工业区里头的13个工厂排放的大量的烟雾就弥漫在河谷上空，完全没有办法疏散出去。河谷这个地区里头就有上千人发生了呼吸道的疾病，一个星期里头就有60多人死亡，这也是同期正常死亡人数的10多倍。马斯河谷烟雾事件是20世纪最早记录下的大气污染惨案。我们再将视线转向1943年的美国的洛杉矶。洛杉矶的光化学烟雾事件也是当时世界有名的公害事件之一啊。当时呢，洛杉矶就已经拥有了250万辆汽车，每天都要燃烧掉1100吨的汽油。汽油燃烧之后产生的碳氢化合物等，就在太阳紫外线的照射下形成了化学反应，结果就形成了那种浅蓝色的烟雾，使得该市的大多市民啊都患了眼红啊，还有头疼等等的毛病。后来人们就把这种毛病这种污染称为光化学烟雾。之后，洛杉矶又多次发生了这样的污染事件，致使数百人因为呼吸系统衰竭而死亡。但是现在这些地方经过多年的整治之后，环境已经得到了彻底的改变。其实我们都说要借鉴发达国家的经验，但是借鉴经验啊，实在不必要我们重走旧路。
Well, we get to know about China's development process and some stages of environmental governance in this lesson. Thank you. See you next time.